Welcome to WSOT TV City Talk. So glad that you are joining us today. Did you pick a great day to tune in and watch? I'm your host, Angela Stepp, and beside me I have the Mayor of Marion, Indiana, Mr. Jess Allenball, and we want to welcome all of you into the show. The show is all about the city of Marion. It's your show, and Mayor, you know, we always delight in hearing from the viewers, and we want those questions and those comments from the viewers to come in, and so I should probably tell folks how they can submit their questions and comments, yeah?
Sure.
All right. Well, folks, we want to let you know there's several different ways that you can send in a comment, a thought, a concern, just a general question. But remember, keep everything pertaining to the city of Marion. So we have a phone number. It's a local phone number, and the area code is 765-536-WSOT. That's 765-536-9768. Now, you can call that message line or you can text that message line 24 hours a day. And if you are more of a online kind of person, and many of you may be watching the show via the show website, you can do so by going to ctmarion.com. That's CT for City Talk, ctmarion.com. You can submit your questions and comments online there. You can watch archived episodes as well as this current episode that you may very well be watching there. And any videos, any pictures that you may take and submit, send them in that way or text them in to us as well. Now, Mayor, I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you for joining us and answering and addressing all of our viewers' concerns. And boy, do we have a lot of stuff to talk about today.
There are a lot of questions here today, but that's great. I really enjoy this format, a way to communicate to you, the citizens of Marion who I work for, what's going on in your local government.
Mm-hmm. Now, before I jump into all these questions, I got to ask, is there any new news that you would like to share with us?
Well, we just today announced that there's a new restaurant coming to downtown Marion on the square.
Oh.
What was formerly the Beatniks with the courtyard beside it, that business is called Mac 123, and the address is 123. So it's Mac 123. It's a gourmet mac and cheese restaurant, unique. It's a person that's been in the restaurant business but wants to do one here on the square in downtown Marion.
Gourmet
so something unique for downtown
mac and
Marion.
Cheese. That sounds wonderful.
Comfort food.
Comfort food. Oh boy, you know, it's so perfect that you would bring that up. And I happen to have a submission from a viewer, and he sent this in via the show website, and the email is TopmanIndy. So if you are Topman Indy, then I'm going to put your question out here to the mayor.
I just went to Top Golf in Indy.
Did you? We like golf. Golf's a good thing around here, right?
That's my therapy.
That's a good thing. So this gentleman resides near CVS Pharmacy in downtown Marion, and he would like to see some fast food options in the area. He's experienced frustration because anytime he wants some fast food, he has to travel up to the bypass. And he has seen other communities where there are fast food restaurants in the downtown area, and he thought that folks here in Marion might really appreciate that option in the downtown area as well.
Well, I'm not sure about fast food like a drive-through window, but we are going to have another restaurant. I'm not sure they're ready to announce yet, where they will have a drive-up window and will be serving food. It's not a chain, though, so I hear what you're saying, and I have seen that, and we're always looking for opportunities to bring people in that own some of these chains, and it comes down to what do they think is the best fit for their restaurant. They're the one taking the risk, putting their money up front, so we kind of guide them, but in the end, it's their choice where they want to locate when they do come to Marion.
Wow, I'm looking forward to trying that macaroni and cheese.
Me
Gourmet
too.
mac and cheese. Ooh, boy, and you know, and who doesn't like cheese, right? Well, I know there's some of you out there that can't have it. I'm sorry about that, but maybe they'll have an option for folks who can't have dairy. Who knows? It's gourmet, right? Mac 123 downtown. Okay, so Robert, he has called in on the show message line, and he noticed that there were some trees that were being marked and removed from the Shady Hills Public Golf Course area. We were just talking about golf, right? Perfect timing, Robert. Thanks for calling in. So he's really curious. He's seen all that activity happening there at the Shady Hills Golf Course, and he's wondering what's being done with that property. Do you have any insight?
Not right now. I've heard several rumors, but the property owner has not contacted me with anything definite yet. The rumors are running rampant, which is not unusual in any community, but particularly smaller communities. And once I know something in particular, I will share it, but I don't want to speculate until I have more confirmed information to share.
Right. Okay. Well, we appreciate that you don't speculate because we like to give fact here on the
Right,
show. So
exactly.
thank you for that honest answer. Really do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I have another one for you. And, you know, I just mentioned some trees and things being done on the golf course. Let's switch over to Victor. Now, Victor, thank you so much for calling into the show. Victor has a question about springtime tree pruning. And he said the location where he lives, I'm not going to give the actual address, location is near the 900 block of 30th Street in Marion. Kind of got your bearings there, 900 and 30th Street. Okay. There's a tree that's next to his home that's been marked with red spray paint, and he believes that that indicates that it is marked for some tree pruning. Now, in past, there have been limbs and things that have been trimmed, I guess, off of this tree, and they have fallen. The debris from it has fallen on his home. So his question for you and a concern is, do you have any idea what the timeline might be if this is, in fact, a tree that has been marked for pruning? And his concern about, let's not let it happen again. Let's not let those trees and limbs and debris fall on my property or my home again.
Yeah, Victor, let me encourage you to call City Hall at 662-9931. You're in my old stomping ground. That's the neighborhood I grew up in. I was in the 900 block of 26th Street. That's where I spent all my grade school, high school years. And so very familiar with that. Played a lot of ball at 28th Street Park, but I'll look into that. And if you'll call City Hall, I'll try to get you confirmation on the time frame of that. So please just call City Hall at 662-9931, Victor.
All right. Well, Victor, thank you so much for calling in. We're glad that you took the time to let that concern be made. And folks, if you have a question like that too, please give the show a call. This is a local number. It's 765-536-WSOT. Text that number as well, 536-9768, or go to the show website, which is ctmarion.com. Now, I have another question for you, and it is from Robert S. Robert is concerned about road drainage, specifically from rainwater, and the location is on 4th Street before Nebraska Street. And apparently, in his message, he said that it rained the other day. He was traveling down that hill. As you know, it's a pretty steep hill. And I guess the rainwater was flowing pretty heavily. And he said he was traveling at about 30 miles an hour. He encountered standing water in the road, and it was deep enough to pull his full-size pickup truck off towards the edge of the road, and it startled him. And so he was concerned about that rainwater draining properly, especially in the road there that's so heavily traveled, because that's also State Road 18.
Right. Well, we'll look into that. That's a utilities question, actually, but we do know that they are targeting different alleyways, properties where drains aren't working properly and plugging up and causing high water in people's front yards or backyards, but also these areas of streets that the Marion Utilities is probably aware of that one. I'm aware of it because I go through there too. I think we all do at times where there's water congregating there. That's a storm sewer issue, but I will bring that up to Chuck Beaker to share that with him and make sure that he's aware of that. That's one of the things when you do the leaf raking, you avoid putting the leaves out in the street like we used to do and then pick them up with the trucks. That was really backing up storm sewers as well. You get all those leaves in there and blocking things that would cause high water when rain did come.
And I remember also in years past, your administration and previous administrations had requested on this very show that folks, when you're mowing and you have lawn trimmings, please don't blow your lawn trimmings and debris out into the street. And it's springtime, and everybody is starting to mow now. And isn't it wonderful not to have snow, right? Who doesn't love nice green grass?
Well, there's another issue with those grass clippings too, and motorcycle riders. When they hit some of those grass clippings, especially if they've got moisture on them, it's very, very hard to ride a bike. I'm not a bike rider, but I know people who are, and that's another issue they face when people are not making sure their grass clippings stay in the yard, not out in the street.
That's a really good point. That is a danger that unless you ride a motorcycle, you wouldn't necessarily think about it. No, but it would just be like, walking on ice or driving on ice that way.
All of a sudden you hit a slick patch and it's just grass, but it's wet and slippery.
Makes complete sense. So if you have a leaf blower, or if you can just mow and face your mower so that the grass blows into your yard and not into the street, that would probably be very helpful for the storm drains as well. Now, Mayor, I see that we need to pause for a really quick break, but oh my gracious, do we have a lot more questions to get to.
That.
I know. Well, folks, we want to remind you that this is your show. Everything we talk about is pertaining to the city of Marion. If you would like to ask the mayor a question, then please give us a call on the number 765-536-9768. We'll be right back with more WSOT City Talk in just a moment.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes. The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado or any other disaster. Visit ready.gov.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Welcome back to WSOT TV City Talk. I'm so glad that you are joining us. Beside me, I have the mayor of Marion, Indiana, Mr. Jess Allenball, and he is taking your questions. Now, if you have a question that is pertaining to the city of Marion, then you want to call our local message line. It's area code 765-536-WSOT. That's 536-9768. Or you can text that number as well, or go to the show website, ctmarion.com. That's CT as in City Talk, ctmarion.com, and you can submit your questions and comments online, and you can catch some archived episodes as well. Now, Mayor, I have a bunch of questions from viewers to jump into, so I'm not going to delay. We have so many to get to, and we're going to fit as many as we possibly can into the show. Okay, so Lois called in, and she explained in depth that she discovered recently that there were a couple of local businesses that she had done business with in the past that had closed up shop. Maybe they relocated, maybe somebody just decided to sell the business. For whatever reason, they no longer exist. And she said she was really discouraged, frustrated to discover this because apparently a couple of them had been closed for a while now. And so she said, you know, there is a resource where when new businesses come into town, like through the chamber, that we are notified when we have new businesses that come into town, but when businesses leave or close, she's wondering, is there a resource that you might know of so that people can go and find out what businesses may no longer exist in our area? So that was question number one. And then she had the second part of her question. She got to thinking, there is concern when you do businesses with, for example, a title company. She said they take your personal information, and when they do close or leave or whatever, where does your personal information go?
You know, the second part I don't know the answer to. Not sure how that would work. The first part, that's an interesting question. I've done that too, particularly if it's a business or store that you haven't been to and you don't go to as often, and you show up and, oh, wow, I did not know they weren't open anymore, but they're out of business. Maybe we can find a way, and I'll talk with Kylie Jackson, the chamber director, about that to let people know. But I will tell you, the biggest struggle, doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're trying to market something, to get the word out there. We have a local newspaper, we have a local radio show, we have social media that people are using all the time now. But even for something as large as the State of the City, I had people say, I had no idea the State of the City was going on then. How do we reach people? That is the biggest question mark. What is the right way to reach as many people as possible? That's something we could try to do though.
You've been watching WSOT TV City Talk. If you have questions or comments for the mayor pertaining to the city of Marion, we encourage you to call or text the show at 765-536-9768. That's 765-536-WSOT. We hope you've enjoyed the show and look forward to your calls on next month's program. Thanks so much for watching WSOT TV City Talk.